So I've been trying to talk about Twitter versus Facebook for a while, mostly since the 2016 election with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, because after Hillary Clinton lost, well, she won the popular vote. She lost the electoral college, lost the presidency because of that. After that, they just tried to say Russia was responsible and they helped hack Facebook or whatnot and give all this wrong information to people on Facebook, and Facebook needs to censor and look over their news and all this stuff. So people on Facebook, the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he went to Congress, I believe, and he was questioned to hell, had cameras all over him. He was freaking out. Since then, Facebook has been doing more and more censorship measures. They removed that trending category. They removed news because they didn't want to be responsible for news. And they allowed the government to go in and check out all their stuff. Because when Trump was running for president, the people who were in his cabinet, saw Facebook. They were wise. They said, we see this tech stuff, we will use it to our advantage. And I saw a Frontlines report, I believe it was Frontlines, it was some news report. The person who was in charge of the social media stuff on Facebook said he's going to spend $1 million on the Trump candidacy on Facebook. Give me a manual how to figure out Facebook advertising, basically. Facebook people were like, we don't have a manual. They're like, well, send me somebody from Facebook then, because I'm spending $1 million on your platform just to advertise. And so they sent someone. That's how they did the targeted advertising. That's how they used the tools. I've used the Facebook page tools myself. And honestly, it's just garbage unless you have money to advertise and to target and stuff. Because I had so many people like my pages, but they still wouldn't show my stuff to the people who like my pages unless they clicked like a bell notification or I paid to advertise my stuff to reach out to more people, which is why I hated Facebook. And also because Facebook is closed off, you have to have an account to see anything. But with Twitter, it's all open, everything's there, and it's all open and free and stuff. Is basically what I'm saying. Facebook is all closed off. And now because of all this Russian BS and the government being all over Facebook, Facebook is censoring even more and more stuff. And I even had my friends look into their old messages, and they would find links that they try to send to each other, and it would say, Facebook removed this link based on community rules and regulations and all this BS like that. And so Facebook is just, this is over-regulation, over-policing just to make up for what happened. Pretty much like, remember... Well, I'm sure a lot of people don't remember. It was many years ago, during the Super Bowl, Janet Jackson had her top ripped off by the NSYNC guy, Justin Timberlake. Had her nip shown on TV, national TV, which Super Bowl is the most watched televised event in America, so that has something to do with it. But it was only shown, her nip was only shown on TV for like 1 second max, and everybody flipped their shit, and they went over policing and said, we're going to do a time delay on TV for the children to protect them and all this BS. So yeah, it was just scapegoating, I think, sort of. Or maybe it's just over-regulation, over-exaggeration, overreaction. That's what I'm trying to think of. So Facebook, that's the biggest reason why I want to leave Facebook. Because all this over-regulation BS, and they just keep adding to it. It's just getting bloated. So those two reasons, plus if I want to get any of my stuff out there, I have to pay them to advertise my shit. So strike 3, you're out. Strike 4 for anybody else who is still counting. Facebook is just getting too old. It's a social media website. Social media websites just come and go and they live and die. MySpace did it. People went to Facebook because all their old family members were starting to get on MySpace. I was on MySpace at the time. I had to make 2 MySpace accounts for friends and then for family. And then I created a Facebook account because MySpace was just dying, and I was like, alright, I'll finally go to Facebook. Facebook was kind of dying, and then Mark Zuckerberg and all the other people try to keep adding more and more stuff, like the marketplace, like the trending category, and everything, and I honestly think Facebook is just dying as a social media platform, and then with all this overreaction, it's just making it worse and worse, and that's why I am just moving further and further away from Facebook. Then when you look on the other side, there's Twitter. President of the United States, President Trump, uses Twitter every single day. All these news outlets and organizations are reporting on Twitter and all of his tweets every single day. So Twitter is getting nonstop advertisement when Facebook is just getting bombarded with Russian conspiracy hate. And so that's another reason why I switched from Facebook to Twitter, and why I say everybody else should switch from Facebook to Twitter, because Facebook is the sinking ship. Twitter is just rising more and more. And as I said, Twitter is so open. I don't have to, yes, you can pay to advertise more stuff, but I don't have to advertise stuff. It is just open for everybody to see. Facebook, there's private pages, and then there's public page. Well, there's private profiles, and then there's pages, which you have to advertise on the pages. And there's just so much BS. So Twitter, I'm going with Twitter. For fun, for business, for everything. I'm leaving Facebook. I recommend everybody else to leave Facebook. And one more thing about the whole Russian propaganda BS. If for some reason you make the argument that yes, Russia gave all this fake, false information through Facebook to people, let's say that is 100% true. There's no disputes on that. One, would that be interference in somebody else's elections and politics and stuff if it's a worldwide social media platform where people get to just talk and say and post anything they want? Is that still bad if it's a worldwide social media platform? Is that still an argument? That's one. Two, let's say they did the information and it was false information. Does that mean we get to censor all information that is considered false or against our American narrative? Some people say yes. Most smart people say no. I'm the smart person saying no, because you should be able to look at the news and then think for yourself. Think critically and even research if you like. If you don't have time to research, that's why some people go to other channels like mine. But then there's this other political reporter that makes this excellent point about how all these magazines are allowed to just report on nonsense, and they're posted on every single checkout line on every grocery store, and we just allow it. The government doesn't come in and say, you can't post your magazine here, this is false news and fake news and false information and all that stuff. No, they don't do that. And even if you want to get into more serious stuff where it is politics and stuff, the government shouldn't go in and try and regulate and say you can and can't report on this is real and fake news, or are you connected with this government? Do you get money from here through here? And 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, are you sort of kind of funded by some other government? And that was an argument on why some people's Facebook pages and Twitter profiles and stuff were getting taken down. And yes, I will admit Twitter is participating in some of the censorship. Not to the same degree as Facebook, I don't believe, but they are still participating in some of the censorship. Some people's pages and profiles are getting taken down, and they are just trying to say you are working with Russia. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm an American citizen. These are my own thoughts. And there are reporters, news reporters, going to these people's homes and saying, believe it or not, if you know it or not, you were working with Russia and under the supervision of Russia and all this BS. And it is just, it's gone to a point of insanity. So maybe I started off with Facebook versus Twitter, ended up with the whole Russia conspiracy theory. But still, I would like to have a conversation with other people on this point, given my points that I just presented. Because this whole Facebook, Twitter, censorship, news censorship, fake news, and Russia stuff, it's just insane. And we are just getting further and further in the hole towards censorship. And it's not looking good, and you should not support any of this, no matter what side you're on.